got to press live on the phone too, bro. 3, 2. Oh. Okay, I imagine you went private. Oh, you zoomed out. Zoom back in. Yeah, sweet. That should be good. All right. Audio should be sweet by now, and we'll wait for a couple of people to come in. Yeah, sweet. That should be good. Yeah, YouTube's sweet. YouTube's on. Instagram's on. People starting to come in now. All right. Beautiful. We're live on both YouTube and Instagram. Make sure after this, if you are on Instagram, to go check out the YouTube. That is the short ball. So, I don't know. There's going to be some content coming up soon on there. I'm sort of still planning out how I'm going to do things from now on, especially with more of this sort of content coming. Audio not working. Yeah, right. Is it picking up? Audio not working. Yeah, right. Yeah, just get an audio check there. Any thumbs up? Is it picking up? It's working on the YouTube. Yeah, so working on the YouTube, is it? Any thumbs up? Audio's working now? Sweet. Yeah, Instagram work. Audio, sweet. Yeah, okay, right. Sweet. We're going to just do a little bit of a review of the last week or so, a couple of big talking points, and then we'll look forward a little bit. We've got a couple of debuts to look forward to. We've got a really action-packed week of junior representative footy as we gear up towards the finals, so we're looking quite good here. I will try and answer as many questions as possible, but I'm not actually able to scroll up and down on this now, so if you send in some questions into the actual question box, that would be easier. But if you do leave some comments with questions, I will be trying to answer them as well. Last week, the two big talking points out of the Rising Stars was the debuts of Lachlan Galvin and Ethan Strange. They were very good. Well, not the debut of Ethan Strange, but his fourth game now. And he was really good. I thought he looked like one of the best on field, and his cover tackle on Charlie Staines and the passion that he showed when he got up was unreal to see. And Lockie Galvin, like, that's an unreal debut in a losing side for a 6. As an 18-year-old half, that's unreal. I got a question. Thoughts on Para's SG Ball? They need to put a score on the Bears this weekend. And then they've got the Magpies in what will be an absolutely thrilling contest, because that's two sides that probably should make finals that could be facing each other in an elimination game, which will be very entertaining. Two sides with a lot of talent from top to bottom. The Parramatta Eels SG Ball, their forward pack, quite talented. You got Javan Stephenson Haller, Josiah Funa-Utah, Tyrese Lakeni, who have all been playing really good footy this year. And they're led around by a really smart halfback and their captain, Dylan Bredel. So they look like a team that, if they can click it together, they will be a premiership threat in that competition. And obviously Parramatta won it last year with an extremely talented side. And coming out of that sort of chat about the talent from Para's side last year, Blaze Talangi making his debut this weekend. I'll get to that in a second. Thoughts on other clubs chasing Dean Hawkins? Look, quality halfbacks are, sort of short at the moment. There's a couple sides that could use him. I have been saying for a little bit of time now that I'd probably rather Hawkins to Ilias just for now. But Ilias is one of those guys that can probably go back to New South Wales Cup and absolutely kill it there, and then come back and be really improved, sort of like how Sam Walker went back to Cup. So that's that's one to watch out for, how Hawkins and Ilias go in their 7 jerseys this weekend. Ilias playing Cup and Hawkins for first grade. But Hawkins, he'd be a very valuable asset to a couple of clubs, really good game-managing half, and was vital, and was absolutely vital to South Sydney's win in both New South Wales Cup and the State Challenge, where they beat the Brisbane Tigers. So he was quite good. So back to sort of Blaze Talangi, what I was talking about. His debut is going to be super exciting this weekend. He's a guy that can make something happen out of nothing. Really versatile player as well. You can slot him into a whole heap of positions. There's a little bit of negative chat around him from his first 2 games in New South Wales Cup and his trial match. He does have errors in his game, and he is still growing as a player, only 18, 19 years old. So he's one that you'll see improvement from. And those games that people are judging him from are his games at fullback. Defensively, hasn't been amazing, although he was much improved in the Panthers game. But he's a guy whose his attack has been really good. And his defense just will need a little bit of work at fullback in particular. I do think he will go quite good against us in the centres in his debut on the weekend. But he is marking up on Ruben Garrick and Humole Olakwatu, who I'm sure Manly will send plenty of at him, which will be a tough task. I got a question before about SG Ball outside backs for Parramatta. Moe Alamadine has been killing it. They've had a couple of guys come in and out of that centre position. Corey Lee, Dakota Kakoi, they've come in and done jobs. Dakota Kakoi was a guy that I was really excited about because his defense was unreal, but I just not sure on his attack. And the other winger, Dom Ferrugia, he's been okay this year, but I would like to see a little bit of improvement. Last week, SG Ball results. I'll just get them up real quick, but the one that I really wanted to touch on was the Magpies result on the weekend. They were missing the guys that they'd had through the start in your Talon De Silvas and Kit Lau Lilies and those sorts of guys, but for a team that should be competing for a final spot, they did get bashed by the Bunnies, 42-6. A little bit of a disappointing result. So they'll be heading to Parramatta in round 9, and that could be a crucial game. That's at Eric Tweedle on Good Friday. I'll probably be at that game because that's going to decide a lot when it comes to the finals equation. Yes, can hear me. You talk shit. Has there been any questions pop up that you've seen?
We got one on YouTube. Who's the best Penrith up-and-comer?
Who's the best Penrith up-and-comer? I'd have to go with Casey McLean. He's a guy I've done a couple of posts about. Or Isaiah Iongi, Casey McLean. You could do either one of them. Casey McLean's a little bit younger. Casey McLean, 17, 18 years old, playing Jersey Flag. He skipped SG Ball. Super talented player. Looks a real talent out in the centre position. I did do a comparison post with Joey Manu, which I thought was fitting. Isaiah Iongi, I reckon he'd be an NRL star once he gets a crack. A really high effort fullback, really good in defence. Really good in defence. So, and just has that X factor. I'd compare him to a little bit of a Clint Gutherson sort of player, but he is also really quick. Fuck off, the audio's working fine, Blakes. I've got the little bit of a running joke now at this point, but audio issues. There's literally somebody sitting outside listening to it at the moment, so I can hear it sort of replaying back to me, which is a little bit annoying, but, is what it is. Any questions, send them through. Otherwise, I'll continue sort of looking at last week. Panthers Sharks last week, I was at that game. Jet Cleary was unbelievable for the first half. Went down with an injury, and they just sort of looked shell-shocked after. They came back out, and Sharks rolled them through the middle. Riley Pollard and Bryce Sate, they came through and had unbelievable games. Were breaking Penrith apart. They were breaking Penrith apart, and it just ended up getting too much for them. Penrith did hit back and get the lead, but Sharks just finished off way too strong. There was 28 points in the second half. Can Raiders Cup go all the way? I do think they've got a really, really strong side. It's just there's going to be a lot of chopping and changing there. And there is a couple of sides that look quite good on paper, but yeah, I'm really impressed with what I've seen out of the Raiders Cup side so far. Their win over the Magpies was unreal, and Magpies aren't a bad side by any standards. So, a couple of guys, Chevy Stewart, James Schiller, Trey Mooney, absolutely killing it. But they're also guys that you could see pop up in NRL equations. Back to SG Ball sort of preview. Thoughts on Blaze Slung, I already touched on him before, but yeah, one I'm really excited about. Bulldogs, Tigers. Bulldogs did what they had to do. Same with Parramatta against the Storm. Bears got up over the Seagulls, which was a good result for them. That's their first win. That's their first win for the season, which is really good to get on the board. Got it 24-16 win over the Seagulls. Obviously didn't get to watch it, but that's good for them. Roosters Knights, that was a big talking point from this weekend. The Knights and Roosters, both sides that I sort of think are looking to win the comp, and that's sort of their that has to be the goal. And if they fall short of that, you're probably sort of a little bit disappointed. But the Roosters undefeated so far this year and took care of business against the Knights, destroyed the Dragons last weekend, and that form's already been franked. So I think Roosters are the top dog. Michael Asamoah, any good? He's been killing it in Cup. I've been a big fan of him for a couple of years now. He did play Origin a couple of years ago in that under-19s. So I'm quite keen to see how he goes. Cronulla right side defence is the worst in SGB. Bryce Say is by far. I think that's one of the. He's related to one of the boys. Or is one of the boys on the side, McCarthy, the last name, Max McCarthy, I think bench forward. Their right side defence held up okay, winning against the Panthers the other day, but, is what it is. Dragons, that Dragon-Steelers game, that's the other one that I did get to watch. It was on New South Wales Rugby League TV. I did encourage a lot of people to go watch it because it was an absolute belter. They went absolutely at it for the full 60 minutes. Huge hits in defence. A couple of really, really big plays. Tyler Peckham Harris, the fullback, he came up with some huge plays. Steelers broke down that right side, and he came up with an intercept. So there you go, Max Cronulla captain. So yeah. So Tyler Peckham Harris came up with a couple of huge plays. Shadi Hamoud, his boot was unbelievable. And they just sort of ground the Steelers out of it. Thoughts on Dylan Bredel? Do you just want to scroll up to that Magpies Juniors questions? I didn't catch the end of it, but thoughts on Dylan Bredel? I did touch on him before. Really good organising halfback. Great kicking game, great support play. And he's been really good to unlocking Tyrese Kenny on that left edge too. Any Magpies Juniors you reckon should sign long-term in the back line? Seen that message. What are you doing there? So I think for the Magpies, they need to focus on pushing their juniors through and making sure that they're locked up long-term for first grade. Heath Mason been killing it. He's still SG Ball age, but he's playing fullback in Cup, and he scored a really nice try on the weekend. So I've been really impressed with him. Navrin Willett, a guy that I've talked about a lot as well. Really impressed with him. He's a 6'7" athletic beast. So I see him as a guy that can come through the ranks and be really good. Thoughts on Finau Latu? I think he's one of the premier locks in the competition. I'm not sure if he is New South Wales eligible, but I think he'll really give that a big shake for under-19s Origin this year. And he's got a really slick ball playing. He laid on a try for Shadi Hamoud in round 1. That did win them the game. Really good work ethic in the middle and really powerful. So a guy that I rate very highly. Zion back this week. Zion Maiu is how I've heard it being pronounced. Apologies if I did get that wrong, but a guy I'm a big fan of. Really powerful, agile, good leg speed. Has played a little bit of back rower coming through, but he's transitioned into the middle, and I think he'll be a really good player for a long time. I would like to see him debut off the bench in NRL, but very tough forward pack to crack that Warriors pack. I think of Bears hooker Billy Arena. So what I have seen of him, and look, Bears, you don't want to be too harsh, but Bears have struggled for a long time. But yeah, Billy Arena, what I have seen of him, he was quite good against the Magpies. Really good ball playing. I think he sort of slotted out, and Kobe Walsh went into that hooking role, and he played a little bit of half, and I think he looked a little bit better there. And I think defensively he looked a little bit better there too. But hard to sort of get a gauge on these Bears players. Thoughts on the water bottle, mate? I'm really enjoying it. It's sort of keeping me coughing out of the way, unlike last week. I do need a guess so that I can sort of pause a little bit, Who'll be in the finals for SG Ball? It looks like it's just about getting wrapped up. There's sort of 8 teams that are vying for a spot. A couple teams have not completely fallen out of it, but are teams that I don't see making it. So at the moment, Roosters, they're locked in. Roosters are locked in. The lowest they can fall, I think, is 4th. Knights and Steelers, they're 2 teams that should make it, but they're not completely locked in. Dragons as well, those 3 are on 10 points. They can fall out of it, but that's sort of mathematical, if you will. So the teams that are fighting for spots, Bulldogs currently in 5th. They're a quality side. They sort of struggled a little bit at the start of the year, but they've really clicked into high gear now. Magpies, who I thought would be one of the premier sides with how strong they were, they have chopped and changed a little bit. So they've fallen out of it. And they will be in a game in round 9 versus the Eels to make the finals. Obviously, it's top 6. Or maybe not obviously if you haven't followed much of the competition before, but it is top 6 for SG Ball. Magpies, Eels sitting 6th and 7th. They both should win on the weekend. So that will be a big contest in round 9. Sharks, their win over the Panthers sort of knocked Penrith out, and it looks like Sharks can give it a crack. And Raiders are a little bit of a smoky too. The Warriors are just below that. They're talking mathematical probabilities. Nathan Howlett being good. For Parramatta, that SG Ball side. So I'll just sort of look at New South Wales Cup a little bit because there has been a couple of questions about it as I've been on. At the moment, Raiders on top, Bears in second. Bears have been quite good. They're Storm's feeder now, so they've got a heap of quality players. Panthers looked super against the Eagles and were also good against the Roosters, who backed up that form on the weekend. Player of the tournament for Mats. I'll just have a quick look sort of through. It's tough to gauge with Howard Matthews because obviously you only get to watch one game a week unless you're at games. Magpies have been really, really good. And they're... Oh, no, I did answer your comment about the Bears hooker. Magpies have been really, really good, so you probably get someone from you probably get someone from that Magpies side. Here, Massey Makassini's been really good. Ali Hicham Kanib, Alex Isdale, couple of names there up the top. For the Bulldogs, Matthew Barakat been really good. Parramatta, Samuel Polly, although I think he's been out the last couple of weeks. He was the one that impressed me the most early days. And Cyrus Bloomfield from that side as well. And then for the Roosters, Rex Bathingthwaite has also been really good in that mats. Do you just want to scroll up for me? Owen, Paddy and Flegg, he's come up through the Raiders for a little bit now. He's been quite good in the middle there. Brandon Thompson, I haven't seen too much of him. So he's back from injury. So yeah, I haven't seen too much of him. We'll try and carry on now a little bit. Well, I'm struggling. I'm already through my first bottle. I've got about 20 of them sitting there as a tribute to Brad Arthur and Cairns a couple of years ago. Quite tough when you're sitting there by yourself, so hopefully come finals time, I do have a guest lined up, so hopefully it's just not me talking into a camera for 30 minutes straight. Battling. Do I play any footy? Short ball. Do I play any footy? At a very high quality for 2 to 3 minutes off the bench. Or used to anyway. I think I'm hanging up the boots this year. Hayden Crowley, I've answered a couple of questions about him over the last couple of lives, so I'll try and find them if I can. Try and find them and sort of put them. I'll put a couple of things on my story from these lives. If there's no more questions, I'll sort of try and wrap it up there. Started getting a little bit of a shit show, so thanks to all those who came on. Do you want to start sort of wrapping it up? Oh, fuck. So thanks to everyone who came on. I will start to continue to do these. I will try and get... I can't see that. Yeah, struggling with the coughing. I think it's talking to myself for a little bit. But yeah, thanks to all those who came on. I'll wrap it up now. I'll see you next Wednesday.
Nice.
Holy fuck.
Made it there in the end.